Hey, what's up, John? How's it going? I'm standing here. Did you want something? John, you know how you were our fourth man in Fortnite? Yeah, because I'm the best player on your team. Duh. Actually, you're probably the worst player on the team. And you know Apex Legends is like kind of limiting it to only 3 people. So that means we gotta cut someone from our friend group, right? So what does this have to do with me? Huh? John, someone's gotta go, and it's only fair that we cut you. You're the worst. I mean, it's not my fault, but you can practice and we'll let you in if you get better than one of the other 2 guys. Are you kidding me? We've been best friends since 2nd grade. You're doing this to me right now? Are you kidding me? John, I actually wanted to tell you something more important. You're dying. I'm sorry, what? Being diagnosed with a rare disease that's incurable. I found out recently from your mother. You're dying. You have 2 weeks left to live, actually. Why would my mom tell you and not me? That doesn't even make sense. I literally just saw her when I walked in. Why would she not tell me? No, dude, I'm serious. This is the actual doctor's note. Here it is. I guess I am dying. Yeah, so I just thought that would make it a little bit easier to break the news to you, you know? But I'm on the team then, right? I mean, I'm dying, so I'm on the team. No, actually, you're still cut. You're still off. This just makes it easier for us because when you're gone, you know, a couple weeks here, you know, we won't really feel guilty about it. But you are dying. You're gonna die. You're off the team as well. So you're both dying and you're off the team. Those are together. Kind of delivered them in a package for you. Were you the 4th member of your squad cut from your team ruthlessly at the same time you got the news that you'd be soon dying? I think a lot of us can relate to this situation that I presented to you today. Hi, my name is Dr. Loverfella. Do you have issues not knowing when to jump? Are your friend groups cutting you out of their Apex Legends gameplays? Do you feel like you're holding back your squad? Did the intro clip make you say, that is so me? The answer to any of those questions was yes. This video might be helpful for you. Now, I have a bachelor's in Apex Legends. I also have a master's in Fortnite. Today we're gonna go, I also have a doctor's in wildlife ecology, but that's another topic. Now, the Apex Legends map is fairly small with only 60 people in total in the map. But we're gonna break up the map today into different sections. We're gonna call them geometries. Now, these individual geometries, as you can see, are all very angular and all very spectacular. But there are people on the internet that have actually gone out and located the most profitable loot locations for each area. So as you can see, the purple locations on screen are high loot areas. What does that mean? Well, it means that you'll get a lot of loot, a lot of good loot. Purple, gold items, perhaps better. Legendary, perhaps diamond items, if those exist. Now, the high tier loot areas are obviously very competitive. You've got a lot of players wanting to drop here. The medium tier are less competitive. So you have to balance out the most optimal place to land. Do you want less people but worse items, or more people but better items? That's why we've teamed up with 10 of the smartest doctors in the entire world to give you our top 5 base drop locations in Apex Legends. If you follow this guide, we are not guaranteeing that you will be. If you follow this guide, I'm not guaranteeing that you're gonna stay on your team. I'm not guaranteeing that you won't get cut, but I am guaranteeing that you're going to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. When looking at this map, we're going to go ahead and play a clip here of us jumping into an area that I like to call artillery, located in the northern quadrant of the map. Artillery is considered one of the best places to drop for several reasons. Number 1, it's in the north of the map. I always like to tell you where it is if you're a noob and have no idea. The most northern part of the map. But the important thing is that it's in the center. You see, it's not in the left corner, it's not in the right corner, so you've got an advantage to get to the zone. If you're in a corner, it's much harder to get to a zone in the opposite corner, right? If you're in the middle, it's a lot easier to travel. So tip 1, if you're in the center, in this little cross pattern, it's much easier to survive. There's also more people alive. It's extremely dangerous, all right? This is a highly competitive area. Generally, there will be multiple teams that land here, but if you can outwit them, you will survive and you will get incredible gear and incredible items and weapons. Now, for my estimations, it takes about 60 seconds to explore the entire area with their squad. If you split up correctly, go through the areas that I'm showing in the clip here. There's a lot of things south of this area. If you go outside, even though it's barren, there are items everywhere, so it's incredible. So artillery is our number 1 first spot, all right? It's a great spot, it's highly competitive, and it's a really good area to learn how to play. Our second location is known as Skull Town. Now, you might recognize it by the giant skull on the building or the fact that it's called Skull Town on the map. Skull Town is a medium tier loot location, which means there is a slightly less chance you will find powerful gear here. And it's a highly competitive area. In fact, this is one of the most highly contested areas in the map every single game. This is almost the tilted towers of Apex Legends. The reason that I recommend it as my number 2 jump spot is because if you go here, not only are you going to get amazing practice and skill at how to shoot, because if you're learning from videos like this, my guess is you're not great at the game, so you need practice. Jump here to learn how to play the game. Secondly, it's got easy rotations. Look at all the areas around it. You could go to any of them. There's high and 2 medium loot locations, plus some low tier loot around it. You are surrounded by loot, and you're towards a more central location in the map, so you don't have to worry as much about not being in the zone. And finally, extremely compact. You can go from building to building rather quickly, which makes it easy to get your items, but just keep in mind you will be fighting a lot, especially if the ship goes over Skull Town. You're going to be in some trouble. I think last time I jumped, there were probably literally half of the map jumped here. It was absolutely a bloodbath. Our number 3 best location to land is called Relay. Relay is located in the top right corner. It's got the best loot percentage that we have found so far of any of these locations, but note that it's in the top corner, which means it's going to be a little bit more difficult to make it to the zone if the zone happens to be anywhere in the bottom left quadrant. So it's a riskier play, but that means 1, there's less people, and 2, that means the more loot is going to you. So you have a higher percentage of good loot, you have less people. What's that mean? It means when you leave this area, you have no excuse not to have the best gear in the game. This is something that I recommend to people that have experience, that know how to play the game. If you're not looking to fight people, this is a better spot to go. I'm not saying it's empty. Some games you will find this place packed with people, but it is safer. Also note the 2 areas of water. You don't want to get stuck out in the water because this is pretty much free kill, right? If you're in the water, there's nothing protecting you. It's really hard to move, so avoid the water at all costs, but keep an eye on it, because if you find someone in that water, it should be an easy kill to rack up your score. Now, the repulsor is a classic area, but it's got some cool features that make this my 4th best. Well, these are in no particular order, but it is one of my favorite spots. The repulsor has these really cool underground tunnels that you can use to not only escape, but also enter to surprise people for different types of fights. So if you're getting in a pickle, you jump through these underground tunnels and you get out, and these are kind of unique to this area. Now, there's tunnels all around the map, but these tunnels in particular are extremely useful because you can go from one area to another. You're going from a high loot to a low loot location, which means high population, low population. It's a really good escape path. It's usually pretty empty. A lot of people avoid this area, and I'm not really sure why. There's high loot chances here. It's the 2nd highest we've looked at so far, but there's usually not a lot of people here, maybe 1 or 2 squads at most, so it's a pretty safe spot to get to. Here, repulsor, I think easy high tier loot. When you drop here, you're getting the best items, and it's easy, man. It's easy. You drop here and you get the best stuff, no challenge, no problem, because the only people that go here are people that watch this video, which means only noobs, because we're all noobs here. Don't even act like you're not a noob. If you look this up, you're a noob, all right? Our last location is the Slum Lakes. Top left corner of the map, medium tier loot location. Risky again because it's in the top corner, but pretty powerful because it's really easy to get between houses and stay in cover. You're not going to be exposed in the open. You're going to be protected by walls and buildings and all kinds of escape platforms. There's also a balloon nearby. You can use these balloons to jump back into the battlefield fairly quickly if you get stuck out there somewhere, right? The zone's in the bottom right quadrant. You can't get there. You can use a balloon and start traveling much quicker that way. So slightly, actually pretty significantly, about 10% worse loot than Relay, but it's a little bit safer, a little bit easier to get back in the game. So you got to balance this together and decide what type of player you are. If you're a player that's new and needs a lot of experience getting kills, there's no point in playing until the end of the game to lose to the best player. It's just a waste of your time. What you should be doing is dropping in Skull Town and consistently fighting over and over and over and over again until you can land there and win consistently. If you're a player that has a lot of experience and you want to start getting wins, maybe you're going to be focusing on areas like Relay, Artillery, and the Slum Lakes because they're top, they're kind of alone, they're kind of isolated, you have a good chance of getting good items, you have a good chance of winning. And finally, guys, these are not the only good places. There's really a lot of purple places that are high tier loot on this map. There's a lot of good places. Just because I enjoy landing there doesn't mean that you have to enjoy landing there. Maybe you have your own secret spot. Maybe somewhere that's not even marked is something that you always go to, and that is perfectly fine. Ultimately, what matters is you figure out what your play style is, how you want to play the game, and you have fun. Because the end of it is just enjoy yourself, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my Apex Legends challenges. They're actually ridiculous. I ate a ghost pepper on one of them, and it was the hottest sauce in the world. Guys, I'll see you all tomorrow. Spread the love. Peace.